Hello, my name is Okada, and this is Mechabellum. Today we are going to go through a replay of a hard mode solo run, and the game pulls no punches, so we need to be mindful of every choice that we make. Now in this run we are starting off with Rhinos, which is an incredible starting unit. And of course in solo mode we don't start off with any specializations. But since the Rhino is a frontline unit, we're going to put it right up front and give it just a little bit of cover with the crawlers because we need to get them on the storm crawlers as quickly as possible. So you can see we are placing them very carefully between the two so that they'll go to the storm crawlers first. And these guys are making sure that they are targeting the units that would distract the Rhino. And for good measure, we're bringing down a couple of snipers. Not terribly ideal for, dealing with storm crawlers at the beginning. And certainly not for dealing with wasps. But we're establishing ourselves. We need to start getting some experience points on the snipers. And it's okay to give up a round to take advantage of certain units because in the solo matches, we have no influence over what units we're actually given to purchase each round. Sometimes you gotta kind of take a loss in order to pick up a unit that you really want to get. It's okay to lose, an early round, especially with just, some wasps. It's not worth a whole lot of points. So normally you'd want to take redeployment as early as you can in solo. But since we're already into Rhinos, we're going to look to take advantage of that a little bit earlier and start to build up its attack. Every unit the Rhino kills increases its attack by 10% for the current round. And Rhinos are wonderful for taking out crowds of enemies once you get the proper upgrades on them. That means if in the future they have to deal with something large, like giant units or other Rhinos, they're going to be able to cut through them fairly quickly. So seeing that the AI has introduced an Overlord, we've got some more anti-air. Mustangs are a wonderful miscellaneous unit that can really handle anything. And so it's not bad to start early on by investing in them. Our Rhinos are already starting to really do some good work here. It's just hard to stop some good Rhinos. And of course we're going to take speed specialists since we are using Rhinos. The faster they can get on target, the better. The AI is starting to bring in units from the backside. We don't have a whole lot of money to work with. And not very good units to pick from. Since there aren't any real good units to pick from, we're just going to bring in some Fangs. It's really, one of our only options for some spam units. Just to tie these up. Now, we could, of course, just drop a sentry missile on them. But this way we also get some units that can follow up and help out after these are taken out. So it's a better investment. And since sentry missiles were going to take our front line out, we threw one down as well to clear out theirs. That way our Rhinos can have a clear path straight through. We didn't want them to get tied up and, standing underneath these storm crawlers. Tower down. Stormcaller, Rhino on the loose. Go, Rhino, go! And now he's under their minimum range, so they're doomed. And as we can see, our Fangs did their job in the back. Now, shield spec's nice because sometimes we'll end up not only using shields, but shield on unit abilities, such as how the Fangs can have portable shields. As you can see, the AI is continuing with its shenanigans. Nothing in the back this time over there. And they are really loading up the left side pretty heavily. So we're going to throw down a shield to absorb this sentry missile and continue to level up units when we can afford to. Leveling up units is one of the most important things you can do. I should mention we have also picked up the defense upgrade. Again, you can never go wrong with Mustangs. As you can see, that was all of our money. So we're putting them over here so that we can be sure to clear this out more quickly so that our units can be free to come and help out with the main fight. We also have picked up the photon coating for our front line, which our Rhinos are. This is a wonderful long-term investment. They can eat so much damage while everything else gets onto the fight. It's hard to go wrong with that kind of upgrade. Now the bottom left here are tied up with those balls that got through. But that's alright. We're free running around behind their lines. Their overlord is down. They're probably hoping that our shield will help them. It won't. You got one ball who's trying to make a run for it. Yeah, buddy, you probably don't want to stop at that tower. You just keep going. Just keep going. Oh, nope, that's a mistake. And another shot at the redeployment. It's hard to pass it up the first time. We're not passing it up the second time. Being able to move units around, especially since the AI likes to put things and then take things away from the back corners, gives us the opportunity to take things back that we put back there originally to deal with their shenanigans. Further investing into our Rhinos. Giving them the whirlwind will allow them to take out crowds of enemies very quickly. It's a very, very powerful upgrade. And we're bringing in some more snipers. Even though we do have a lot of spam stuff here to deal with. We didn't have a Rhino available to purchase. And adding more snipers is always a good thing. We've already picked up the quick reload. That's going to help them a lot with dealing with all this small spam unit garbage that'll be engaging our front line. And here we've redeployed one of the Fangs from the back to the front. Again, mostly just to tie things up. While our Rhino gets in there and our high-speed snipers start doing their job. Down goes the Rhino. But you saw he took a huge chunk out of the enemies. And our backline guys are starting to come up. We're kind of overwhelmed on this round. You know, you're not going to win every one of them. And all those units together didn't add up that much. Pick up our amplifying core, something that we can enhance our Rhinos with. Check our corners. Nothing bad. Get some upgrades in here. Give them a little bit more survivability. That's going to give our backline more time to do their job. And here we are, level 3 Rhinos. Always nice. You gotta keep an eye out for that. Every now and then they'll give you an opportunity to buy higher level units. And when it's a unit you're already investing in, you really want to take advantage of that. So we're gonna put them out here on the corners. They're starting to bring in some large enemies. As I mentioned, our rhinos are going to continue to do more and more damage thanks to our Rage Rhino specialization. And here we've brought our Mustangs out of the back. The rhinos are just tanking like champions. Look at this. Given all this time for our backline to free fire. And that rhino is still doing his job. He's still going. Yeah, that melting point. He's gonna have a bad day. That rhino took half of his life off of him. Now, the nuke is expensive, and it's easy to kind of pass it up because it's so expensive. But what I've found in playing survival is that if I get an opportunity to nuke, I'm usually going to take it, and then I'm not going to use it until the last round. The reason for that is because you have to win the last round to win the mode. So even if you were to lose the last round and survive because you had enough health, that would only result in a draw and you wouldn't get a credit for winning. So I like to pick up the nuke and just save it. Sit on it until the last round. Now, of course, there are enough rounds left to go. We could use the nuke and it would be off cooldown. But since we are so heavy in ground units that are in your face, honestly, the nuke's pretty dangerous. So we're just gonna sit on it. Get ourselves some upgrades, bonus range. Cannot go wrong with bonus range. Leftover money to get some upgrades for survivability, a little more damage. Starting under a sentry rocket here. So what we've done, we've picked that guy up and we've moved him to the other side so he doesn't get hit by the rocket. It's okay if we wait one side of it, especially with these high damage rhinos, because they'll just pile up. Look, everybody's still focused on these rhinos, letting so many units to survive in the back line, and this is giving them all opportunities to get experience points. They're surviving longer and they're doing more damage. Oh, poor marksman. He will be avenged. Intensive training, one of the most important upgrades you can get in this mode. And the reason is because you have units that, if they don't get leveled up, their durability runs out and they get sold off. And that's not a good thing. I mean, you get your money back, but purchasing units has limitations. You lose the levels of them, and you may not have access to that unit again. So if you can save your units, you definitely want to. Continue to invest in our marksmen. We now have elite marksmen. They get additional damage and range based on their level. Adding that with the fact that they are quick firing, they become a force to be reckoned with. Check our corners, nothing. And we used our intensive training to purchase the next upgrade for the Rhino, even though we didn't have the money, because we had just upgraded him or leveled him up. And then we leveled him up again because he had no XP on him. That way we get more use out of the intensive training because it takes a round for it to cool down. Well, he is taking some fire. Look at that. He just doesn't care. He just walked away from all of it. I'll finally bring him down, but he ate so much damage. It's like one of them probably had a parasitic. Yeah, there we go. Our Mustangs had parasitic. That's why our guys were stopping every now and then, because new crawlers were being made. So we're going to skip those bombardments because, again, we are in a very offensive setup, and we're just going to run into whatever it is that we put on there to hurt them. We saved that guy because he was just about to die, and now we were able to purchase another level up for that Rhino because we used our intensive training on it last round. Getting all our snipers upgraded. So in our corners, yep, we got another distraction here. So we're going to bring another Mustang in. Even though these Fangs could handle these, the faster we clear them out, the sooner we can have everybody coming up and helping out with the main fight. They have another set over here, level 5 Fangs. Which we're just going to drop a sentry missile to take care of them. Finally get around to purchasing our damage bonus. Something we normally prefer to do earlier, but we were just too busy to do it. He took out almost an entire squad. One swing. Rhinos are so good. The Vulcan never had a chance. And our quick fire snipers. This is such a good counter to unit spam. Obviously, they're never going to replace mass damage units like Mustangs or Stormcallers that can take out large groups very quickly, but it keeps your marksmen from being frozen down by one squad. So we're picking up some bonus armor, which is great because, you know, we have all of these Rhinos tanking everything. Check our corners. Level 9 crawlers. 2 sets of level 1 crawlers back here. We'll need to deal with that. Call in more Rhino, because we like Rhino. Pop them over here. Now we spent our intensive training on leveling up this crawler because they were going to die immediately to the sentry. They were on their last durability. Placing our armor over here. We're making this side a little bit heavy. Call in one more Rhino. You get so much value out of purchasing units that you already have upgrades for. And we're going to pop them down over here as well. This Rhino could take them all out, but again, the faster we can do that, the quicker they can be up helping everybody else. The only real worry here is the level 9 crawlers. Give ourselves some level ups. And we have this unit right up front that's out of durability. So we're going to drop down a sentry missile to help clear things out more quickly, but that's not going to be enough to save him. Because he still hasn't leveled up. He needs a lot of XP still. So we're going to move him over here so that he can get free XP doing damage to these guys who aren't there. That's also going to keep them in the back line so they're less likely to be killed off. We're just trying to extend the life of that unit. Again, redeployment is so powerful. You can see these level 9 crawlers back here just being a menace. Round 11. A barrier isn't going to do us any good because we don't have any giant ground units. Rhinos do not count as giant ground units. Incendiary bomb is just plain dangerous because of all of our ground units. Strike specialist, not particularly useful in this mode. So we're going to get shielding that we can throw on one of our units, because we do have a lot of frontline units that benefit from it. Check the corners. Trying it again. Trying it again. Get some more levels on our Rhinos. Opportunity to buy more Rhinos, so we buy more Rhino. And toss them back here in order to help clear stuff out a little bit faster, because again, level 6 crawlers. Last time those level 9 crawlers took everything out, and this time, even though they're lower level, they have buddies to help distract. So clearing that out a little faster, good idea. The Vulcan up front, he's gonna have a bad day. Yep, that Vulcan did not do any good. The Phoenixes are distracted, so they're easy to take out with the Mustangs. One punch. Now, deployment specialists can be pretty good in this, but we have so much stuff to spend money on that we really don't need to be buying 3 units around, especially this late. Check our corners. You can see the AI has gone crazy with sentry missiles. Basically, our entire front line is gonna melt. Fortunately, they're mostly distraction units. Our Rhinos are the real tanks. And in this case, there's not a whole lot that we need to distract from. I mean, they've got a lot of spam units down there, but the Rhinos can handle that. Mostly we're going to lose our backline damage by losing these Mustangs. But we have Mustangs in the back over here, and we still have the Rhinos that come up. And in response, we've extended the range even further of our marksmen so that they stay out of the range of the sentry missiles. Plus, just maximizing the range of them is always a great idea. We level the Rhino up again because he's going to take a hit from the sentry missile. And we're out of money. There goes our whole front line. They managed to tank that Rhino long enough, but that's fine. We have marksmen back here to help out. And these Rhinos can take hits for days, so the Phoenixes are never going to be able to switch targets to the things that are actually shooting at them. Two more rounds to go. Defense specialist, very nice. Additional hit points for our front line. Honestly, you want to take that anytime you get an option for something that's going to help the entire army, you want to take it. The only one that might be an exception is speed specialist. Now in this case, speed specialist is great for us, but depending on your layout, you may not want to get into the mess too fast if you're really fighting from max range, for example. But this is an in-your-face strategy, and we want to go fast. You can see in the back corner they're putting in wasps, which unfortunately our rhinos can't deal with. But we do have mustangs back here. The wasps do have shields. That's problematic. It just takes a lot longer to get through them. Honestly, I feel like shields are one of the most important upgrades you can get for wasps. You effectively double your survivability for our squad. And paying for a bunch of level ups. Wasn't really anything we wanted to buy. So, watch our mustangs slowly eat through those. Bunch of arc lights. Leveled up arc lights too. Level 9 arc light, jeez. Still no match for our tanky rhinos. Alright, so we're going into the last round. Strategically, we do not want to nuke. Because, I mean, we're on them so fast that there's no way that our units are not in the nuke. So, intellectually, I know we don't nuke here. But we purchased a nuke. How can you not nuke? If you have a nuke, how can you not nuke? So, of course we nuke. This is straight up a terrible idea. Strategically, we definitely should not nuke. In fact, we're going to end up moving that nuke a little bit. Time to buy our final level ups. Nothing in the corner, nothing in the corner. Leveling up our rhinos. There's no point in buying brand new low-level units at this stage. Each one of these level ups is much more significant. So when we consider that we are going to nuke and our frontline units are going to run straight into that nuke, because nukes take forever to actually come down, one of the things you can do is purchase the upgrade that allows us to tell units to path somewhere else, which we tried to do just then. However, I accidentally bought the upgrade to sell units, not to move them. Oh, bad. So, yeah, so as soon as I clicked that, this was my response. But no use crying over spilt milk. We do have a ton of money that we now received from sacrificing one of our most important units, along with an amplifying core upgrade. So we grab an overlord. It's starting at level 2. It can supplement our anti-air. Plus they had a whole lot of units that can't attack air through here. So we just stacked the side that isn't going to get nuked. Move the nuke forward a little bit. And then watch the bloodbath. Again, we definitely did not need that nuke. Good news is that there are a lot of wasps in there, so that did actually clear out a lot of garbage. though I'm confident that our marksman would have handled it just fine. But that is hard mode. 14 rounds. So be sure to click the like button if you like it. And if you're interested in more content like this, be sure to subscribe. I thank you very much for watching.